So we want to continue to track that. And for that, and the situation specifically in Clinton, British Columbia, we've reached that community's mayor, Roland Stanke. He joins us now from Kamloops. Thank you for making time for us today.
Well, thank you, Arthi.
Thank you.
It's great to be on.
Thank you. I want to start by maybe asking you what we know so far is the latest in terms of the situation in Clinton. Where do things stand right now?
Well, at the present time, we have a assessment team in town to do a structural assessment, and the volunteer fire department is going around with them to looking for any spot fires, any hot embers, to make sure all those things are under control.
And as that work is being done, we know that certainly many people have had to leave their homes. What have those conversations been like, if you've had a chance to touch base with members of the community who are now just hoping, of course, that there's something for them to salvage?
Yeah, I've met with quite a few of the people here at the Kamloops ESS Center. I've given them some reassurance. We provide daily updates on what we know, what we get back from BC Wildfire, and what we get back from the regional district. We try to keep the information as factual as possible to weed out any of the rumor mills and get people more excited or the greater angst around the people.
So to that end, what is the current situation in terms of damage specifically? Do you have an update on that?
I can only speak to within the village boundaries. There is some structural damage south of Clinton, but in regards to the actual boundaries, no, there aren't. My latest report is that there's no buildings or businesses that have been destroyed. Of course, with the hot embers and the little flare-ups, there are a few structural buildings that are damaged. But I think for the most part, as long as we have to wait for the entire assessment to come in before we can take a look and allow people back into town.
You know, you've been, from the notes that I have here, I understand that you have been in the community of Clinton for more than 40 years. How has the fire situation shifted over those decades?
Well, this is our third rodeo. In 2009, we had an alert. 2017, we had an evacuation. But the fire didn't come into town. In 2026, the fire sort of did come into town. It's gone through our reservoir. It's gone through the watershed. So it's become more and more intense the whole time through all that period.
When you make mention that it has gone through the reservoir and the water supply could be impacted there, what are some of the complications surrounding that?
Well, there's a boil water alert at present. The implications coming down the road are going to be fairly serious, as it's going to take months to get things back up and running in that area. We, at this point, we don't need to bring in any water, but the upper reservoir was low, but not dangerously low. So we had to put in a bypass for structural fires.
How much more difficult will it make it, this particular challenge, will it make it for families to head back to the community?
It's going to be fairly challenging, but I don't think that things will ever be 100% perfect before you let people back in. I think for the most part, you just look at it and do the best you can, work with what you have, and people have to have some kind of an understanding. And once people are allowed to come back in, we're going to have a public meeting just to tell people to keep people safe and calm, and to debrief people, answer any questions they have, and kind of go from there. That's all we can do at this particular time.
You know, you've described for me some of the other situations that, of course, the community has had to deal with when it comes to fire. When you look at the images that I know we have been sharing with our viewers, and certainly everyone has been watching with the fire situation in the region, what goes through your mind?
It's getting worse every year, and it's a challenge. But I guess it's just a part of living in where we are. We're not in a desert country, so we're kind of a logging industry, ranching, big open areas. Things are constantly changing up there.
What do you think needs to be done? If you say that it keeps getting worse, what do you think needs to be done in order to keep communities and people safe?
Well, we're working quite closely with our community forest, and we're opening the area up as best we can. We're trying to mitigate things so that it doesn't become a volatile situation. You're never going to cure the wildfires anyway, but all you can do is slow them down and keep people in touch, keep people informed, and just work your way through it.
Well, Mayor Stanke, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
That was the mayor of Clinton, the community in British Columbia, Roland Stanke. We reached him in Kamloops, BC.